if that is not in place, I'm not so sure, but if that is not in place, I think that should be maintained. If the Boko Haram people can, sect members can attack a university, an NYC camp would just be a very sweet target. So I think let's still keep it. Don't let's be lost in the euphoria of Boko Haram has been defeated and people should go back. No, let's still maintain that. If that has not been done, let's avoid those states for now. Let's avoid them for now and post people to other states. Then for areas in those states, don't forget, it's not the whole of Borno State, the whole of Yobe State, or the whole of Adamawa State that has Boko Haram activities like to that extent, So there are other activities going on. So we can post them to some areas until we finally have a ground zero activity of Boko Haram, or to a very manageable extent. We should still relax the posting of prospective core members to those states.
Okay, so
yes.
Earlier in our conversation, you mentioned that it was a great stand and a courageous stand by the University of Maiduguri, saying we're still going to continue. Yeah. We're not defeated. Yes, this is an attack, but yet you're here saying that these local governments or areas that still have Boko Haram activities, we should seclude them. Isn't that giving mixed messages to the Boko Haram?
No, I think I was very selective in the statement. In Borno State, Maiduguri is relatively safer from Boko Haram activity. That is where University of Maiduguri is. So it's an institution that is there and easily that can be, whose security can be improved upon day in, day out. NYC camps are camps that open and closes. And at those periods where they are closes, the security activities will be to the lowest ebb. So I think at those periods, Boko Haram insurgents, whichever way, might find their way to organize themselves around those camps. The inflow and outflow. People come in to sell for the period of the 3 weeks before students or core members are dispersed to their areas of primary assignment. So it's a kind of delicate situation, having camps. We have the liberty, or we have the capacity to post or not to post. But a university is a community, a whole community. So we can't just close down university, unlike the NYC camp. It's a temporary thing that closes and opens. So for the period of for the period that we are actually looking at of fighting Boko Haram and trying to manage the situation, I don't think we should create more problem or create more access for Boko Haram to operate and get soft targets. And NYC camp would be a very good target, like I said earlier. So I think we should try to avoid it rather than expending so much energy and resources to manage the situation when it eventually happens.
So that's temporary solutions to temporary arrangements. Yes. So since this is a 3 weeks exercise, we can afford to relocate it. Yes. But with the university in progress, which is a year-long activity, we should still keep going. Exactly. And as you said, Maiduguri is more relatively safe compared to the other local government areas. Yes. Okay, so away from that, now let's move to the politics of the PDP. We have Ayodele Fayose, Governor Ayodele Fayose, who has now emerged the chairman of the PDP Governors Forum. With this emergence, do you think that we're going to see a new change, if we could borrow that word from the ruling party, that's the APC, in the PDP?
Well, I think APC has gone beyond change. It's now progress. I hear it's now progress. It's no longer change.
Okay, so it's now progress.
It's now progress. Yeah.
Okay, so can we expect progress from the PDP Governors Forum with Governor Fayose in charge? Or can we expect change?
Well, from the first tenure of Governor Fayose as governor, which ended in 2012, abruptly in 2012 and 2006, sorry. And what we've seen so far, and his brand of opposition, politics, I don't think we should expect anything new. We should just expect we're going to see a step up from what he's been doing so far. And that is, the kind of his brand of attack. His brand of attack on the presidency, on the federal government, and on the APC. So he has already termed himself as the leader of opposition in the country so far, and with this, I think it's just a stamp on that. Unfortunately, as far as my own thinking, or as far as I know, his kind of politics doesn't stand the kind of opposition that is needed in Nigeria, as it were, right now.
When you say his kind of politics, can you elaborate on that? Because you said, yes, his mode of attack, yes, how he's always coming up against the APC. But what do you mean by his politics?
Governor Ayodele Fayose carries or expresses a lot of frivolities in his kind of opposition. Frivolities by dwelling on irrelevancies that now made him so common, and that made his statements so common that if you tune on or you open the pages of newspaper, you want to see the next drama. What is the next drama? It's now reduced. It's now being reduced to, for everyday observers or those that are really interested in the politics of this country, it has now become a brand that is so common that you just want to see and just glance through and smile and say, okay, he has to say something. He just needs to say something. You know, he has the whole opportunity as the most experienced governor. It's not something extraordinary that he has been made the governors forum. I guess there is a norm or a tradition. The oldest governor will become, so with his person, he's the oldest amongst all the governors now by virtue of the tenure that they've stayed in office. So counting from his first tenure and what he's been doing so far, after Governor Mimiko, who is going to hand over in a couple of days or so, I think it's not extraordinary that he has gotten that position as the chairman of the PDP Governors Forum. Okay,
one more thing. So you mentioned that he's common. He's now made himself common. But wouldn't you say that that commonality is what makes him very popular with the people of Ekiti State, because they see him as one of them?
Well, the populist agenda or the populist style with which he runs his government is something that some will buy at first. But if you go into the nitty-gritty of governance and how it affects the lives of the people, sharing and doing stomach infrastructure, which is one of his major agenda or creation. Stomach infrastructure by sharing 2 kilogram bags of rice and 200 naira every 4 months, quarterly. It's something that calls for question. And I think PDP, as it were right now, as far as I'm concerned, is not ready for opposition.
Thank you. Just hold on to that thought. We'll be going on a quick break, but the program continues after this. Stay with us.
Well, so let's dance now. It is my turn. Just won't work.